who is main eventing for the third time, the only fighter to have such a distinction. I'm talking about the WBC and the IBF welterweight champion of the world, Errol Spence Jr. Errol, welcome back. How are you feeling as we are just over 2 weeks away until you collide against your Dennis Ugas?
I feel good, man. I'm ready to go, man. Very excited. Been training hard, been focused 100%, and ready to put on the show.
Now, you have been away from the ring for about 16 months. You had a layoff of about 13 to 14 months your first time. What is it like? I mean, is it easier to deal with the layoff this time, or does it not matter to you?
It was easier this time because, it was a lot, stress on my body, being an accident the first time. So the second time was a little bit much easier, and I already knew what to expect, and I already been training and focused, so I'm ready to go.
So what is it like in terms of this preparation for your Dennis Ugas? If you can move this way, Errol, by all means. But what has this training camp been like for you, preparing for someone who's as tricky as your Dennis Ugas? He comes from the Cuban School of Boxing. He's 12-1 since he reunited with one Ismael Salas, and he made his return to the ring back in August of 2016. What's training camp been like?
Training camp been great. Been having great sparring partners, man. Been training hard, been 100% focused. Got nutritionists and things like that to make it easier with the weight cut, so everything been good.
You are beloved here in your home state of Texas. What is it like, once again, having your name and the top of the marquee at AT&T Stadium in Arlington? You're a diehard Cowboys fan, and for the third time, you're making that ring walk yet again.
Mr. Dream come true, man. Just be fighting at home in front of my organic fans and, everybody coming out to see me fight, so everybody's going to wear their Sunday's best, and, they spend their time and their money to come watch me. So I got to put on a great show and a great performance just to show my gratitude.
What are you hoping this performance does and says to the rest of the welterweight division?
I'm not hoping to say anything. Like I said, my performance alone is going to, send a statement to everybody in boxing, and I have 3 belts, so you know what that means.
All right. Well, Errol, we appreciate the time. We look forward to watching you work out. We'll talk with you after your workout because I have some interesting questions in regards to what I heard from yesterday from Ismael Salas and your Dennis Ugas.
Okay, thank you.
Errol, the true Spence Jr., getting ready to Spence Jr. handling some media obligations. But, Derek, what has training camp been like here in preparation for your Dennis Ugas?
It's been great, man. He's been working hard. He's been looking very strong. Has some very physical, very quick, very sharp sparring partners to keep him on his toes. And if he's not coming 100%, they're going to let him know it. But he's been really well.
The one thing that Ismael Salas told me yesterday in regards to his assessment of Errol Spence, he said that Errol Spence Jr. is not the same fighter anymore. He said he saw a distinct difference from the Errol Spence Jr. that we saw against Sean Porter in September of 19 to Danny Garcia in December of 2020. How do you respond to those comments?
I think that you just see a different fight style. I mean, different strategy, different game plan for a different fighter. And at the same time, that's all it is. I mean, it wasn't anything about, he's okay, he's good.
How's the eye doing for Errol?
It's great. We haven't even thought about it. I mean, it's not even an issue.
Now, this layoff, I asked Errol in the sense that he had a 14-month layoff from September.
The first time with the accident, this time it's more about he's been training for a long time. So it's like he's been training for months and months and months because he knows this fight was coming. So he's prepared for it mentally, and he's prepared for the fight. He's been working very hard. I mean, so physically, his body looks amazing. It looked like that months before the fight. So it lets me know he's ready to go.
Is it nice because you are a student of the sport, you love reading about the history, but the fact that you are going to match wits against somebody the caliber of Ismael Salas, who's a world-renowned trainer just like yourself?
I think that's great. I never think about it like that, but at the same time, hey, it's good. I mean, it's great to be match knowledge and wit for wit. I almost had Freddie the last fight. So it's like, hey, you get the best of the best. So he's the guy that mastered and conquered Pacquiao. So now it's our time to go in there and take care of what we need to take care of.
You and Errol are embedded in the fabric of boxing here in Dallas. Is it crazy to think, surreal to think, that this is the third time that Errol is main eventing at AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I think that it was just for the Cowboys to kind of come around and us to kind of make the connection because he fought here once at the Bomb Factory, like early in his career. Then he fought at the Star, which you remember that.
I remember that against Carlos Ocampo.
Right. Then now coming out to this is just like it's a maturation of the fighter. It's a process, and just to be able to fight there, I could say like for me, it's not a dream come true because I could never dream or imagine something like that. But for a young fighter like Errol, he could, it's a dream come true because this is what he's always thought about. He saw Pacquiao fight there when he was in the amateurs, so now he's thinking, I want the same thing also. So, I mean, in his day and age, like when I was fighting, we really weren't fighting in the stadiums, you know what I mean? You may get in or football stadiums, that is. And so now it's amazing to be there, man. Can't wait.
Is it special because this is the third go-around? Do you like being there, and does it feel like home to you guys? And that ring walk, does this ring walk feel a little bit different compared to others?
This is the most amazing, probably part of the whole event, other than the fight. To be embraced by the fans, the way you feel the energy. You go out there and you see everybody cheering, and it's crazy, man. I think that's amazing, and that's important. I think it gives us energy. It gives me energy. It gives me a lot, and we invited my kids from the Boys and Girls Club out there, so now we got somebody really special coming out also, so it's going to be great.
What do you think we're going to see from Errol Spence Jr.? What do you anticipate that the rest of the world is going to witness on Saturday, April 16th from AT&T Stadium in Arlington?
I think that you're going to see Errol and him back in his top 2 form. I think he's going to go out there. He's going to handle business. Ugas is a phenomenal fighter, so let's not take him for granted at all, because that's not the case. He's very smart. He's very intelligent. He has a very smart corner. I've always said that. A great corner. I've always said that. And we'll just see match wit for wit, skill for skill, and see really who is the true. Because he's going to be unified champ after that. One more belt. That's what we want.
So assuming all goes according to plan and Errol has his hand raised on Saturday, April 16th, does that then make the next assignment somebody that you want in the WBO welterweight champion of the world, Terrence Crawford?
I think that's what I've been hearing everywhere, so we'll see. That's what he's been hearing. He wants to unify it, so it's the next step to that situation, so we'll see.
Derek, always appreciate the time. We look forward to seeing you throughout the next few moments, and then we will see you during fight week here in Dallas.
Thank you.
Derek James, one of the best trainers in all of boxing, joining us here in Dallas.
I don't regret it. I feel like, everything happens for a reason. So, if I would have fought him, I probably would have, been blind in his eye and would have lost my career. So everything happened for a reason. I got to just take the punches and just roll with it.
Let me ask you this, Errol. And currently right now in boxing, we're seeing a new wave. We're seeing a lot of younger generation fighters that seem to be taking, as far as less amount of money, taking a little bit more risk to chase glory. What is your initial thoughts when you see that? Shakur Stevenson, for example, him and Oscar Valdez, Devin Haney versus Cambosos. It appears as if they seem to be risking it all in order for them to, get the unifications, get the titles that they want. What is your initial thoughts when it comes to that?
Much respect to them. Them dudes are, 23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
If they lose, they can come right back and, win more titles and things like that. For, guys like me, we 33, 32,
Yeah.
things like that. So time is not on our side. So, for us, it's of course it's about the legacy and things like that, but it's about the payday too.
Errol, message for your Latino fans that are going to be there April 16th supporting you. So a message to them.
You said who?
Latino fans are going to be supporting you. You
Yeah.
have big fans from the Hispanic community, especially in Mexico. They're going to be there supporting you April 16th. Message for them?
Thank you, man. That means a lot. And, I feel like they are Texas. They are the population. So, I thank them for them coming to support me. I'm going to put on a great show and great performance. And it's going to be an amazing fight, just like they like.
Errol, last one. Those pants that say that Dennis Uber's Cuban slick style is tailor-made for you and for what you like to do. What do you have to say about that?
I don't have nothing to say. We'll see when we get in the ring.
Errol, last one. I'm curious to know your opinion about Deontay Wilder. Do you think he should continue his career? 2 tough losses to Tyson Fury.
Man, I think you've been trying to get something this whole time I've been interviewing, man. You got to chill.